Title: Mark's Evening Walk. Mark was a boy of 10, full of curiosity and energy. Every evening, without fail, he would lace up his sneakers, grab his little red backpack, and set off for a walk around the neighborhood. It was a quiet suburban town, with rows of neatly kept houses and friendly neighbors, so Mark had always felt safe. But it wasn't just the peaceful surroundings that drew him outside. It was the adventure, the promise of something unexpected waiting just around the corner. Each day, Mark took a different route, enjoying the thrill of discovering something new in his familiar world. One evening, as the sky painted itself in shades of orange and purple, Mark set off down his usual path. The air was cool, and the scent of fresh grass and blooming flowers filled the atmosphere. He waved to Mrs. Peterson, who was watering her garden, and gave a friendly nod to Mr. Harris, who was walking his dog. Life seemed calm, but Mark felt that excitement building inside of him, the kind that made his heart beat a little faster. As he reached the end of the block, he saw a new street, one he had never noticed before. It was a narrow, winding lane lined with tall, overgrown trees whose branches reached out like arms. Mark had always been curious, and something about this street seemed to call to him. He hesitated for a moment, but then, with a deep breath, he turned onto the unfamiliar road. It was quiet here, almost too quiet. The houses were farther apart, hidden behind thick hedges and ivy, and the streetlights flickered like they were afraid to shine too brightly. Mark felt a strange chill run down his spine, but he brushed it off, eager to explore. As he walked, he noticed something odd. The path seemed to stretch longer than it should have, winding and twisting with each step, like it was changing as he moved. Mark paused, looking behind him, but the street he had come from was now gone. It was as if the lane had swallowed it up. "That's strange," Mark muttered to himself. "I don't remember this road being so endless." A soft breeze rustled the leaves, and Mark felt the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. Just as he was about to turn back, something caught his eye. A small, glowing light flickering in the distance. It was a lantern, hanging from a low branch of one of the trees, casting an eerie glow on the ground. Drawn to it, Mark walked closer, his heart racing. As he reached the lantern, he noticed a peculiar object at its base. A wooden box, old and covered in moss. Mark bent down to inspect it, his fingers brushing against the worn wood. It seemed like an invitation, something meant to be discovered. With a mix of excitement and hesitation, Mark lifted the box open. Inside, there was a single piece of paper, folded carefully. He unfolded it and read the words written in neat, delicate handwriting. "Only those who seek adventure will find what they are looking for. Follow the path, and you will discover the truth." The message puzzled him. What truth? What was this place? Suddenly, a distant sound reached his ears, a low, whispering voice, as if carried on the wind. Mark turned, trying to locate the source, but there was nothing. The feeling of being watched, though, crept over him again. Maybe it's time to go home, Mark thought, and with the lantern still casting its eerie glow, he turned to leave. But the moment he did, the path had changed again. The road was now filled with dense fog, and the houses were gone, just an endless forest in front of him. Mark's heart raced, but he didn't panic. Instead, he remembered the message in the box. Only those who seek adventure. Maybe he was meant to find his way out. Taking a deep breath, Mark stepped forward into the fog, his every step echoing in the stillness. The mystery of the street had only just begun, and Mark knew that tonight was the beginning of an adventure he wouldn't soon forget.